Welcome to the Golden State Media Concepts Sex Podcast, a show that examines all aspects of sexuality, from physical to emotional to spiritual. Join our hosts as they discuss age-old questions, common misconceptions, and the latest topics surrounding sex. They'll tackle topics about sexuality from the complicated to the hilarious and everything in between. GSMC Sex Podcast is your show for all of your questions about sex, even some you might not have thought of yet.
Welcome to the GSMC Sex Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network, with your host Andra, where the topic about sex is from the point of view of an older woman. Now, we're going to start off today's segment with some really good sex questions. And these are things that, everybody has and wants to, have answered. If it is only geared towards your partner, ask the question. You're going to have sex with them. Or at least, hopefully, have sex with them. One of the first questions is, can you learn to be passionate about somebody if there's no chemistry at first? Well, yes. The answer to that is yes. If you initially like each other, you can't get that undying feeling out. You have fun together. It's a really good relationship. It is that, there's sex there. You feel it. This is the way you're going to work on that chemistry. Sex comes into play. That might just be that one little avenue that you needed to push and stimulate the passionate heat. And I've seen many couples where they'll tell you at first, I did not like my husband, or I did not like my wife, or I did not like my partner in the beginning. But they're madly in love with each other. They're so passionate for each other now. It was, continuing it on. Don't quit at it. There's something there. The passion can grow. You're looking at this person. Obviously, there's something about this individual that you find alluring for you. So don't stop. And don't say, oh my God, I really don't like this person, so I'm just going to end it, stop talking, whatever. Obviously, you're attracted to this person. And there's something about them. Find out what it is. When you have sex, all of a sudden that might just burst that right out of there. So now when you look at that person, you have all these new passionate feelings for them. And it's a total switch over for what your original thoughts were. So don't give up, because if you really like each other and you're having loads of fun together and you just love being with that person and you think there's no chemistry, that actually is chemistry. The passion and everything, sex will bring that right out. Another question we may, which is really, really good to ask. Can you have a great, long-lasting sex life with this? Absolutely, totally. But, it's not going to be movie style. You ideal your own partner. You and your partner make sex interesting by trying different things and doing different things that pushes that sex over the limit. I mean, there are going to be times when you and your partner just don't want to have sex. Try a little bit more romantic stuff, cuddling, hugging, kissing, watching a TV together. Your favorite show. I mean, it's going to develop. You learn it. You decide on how you're going to pursue it. If the both of you are into something, elaborate on it, build on it, but don't forget to be safe about it, to keep that open communication about sex there. And that's what makes sex, healthy and long lasting. It's not where, you think, oh, okay, I've been married for this length of time and you don't have sex now because you're married. That is like the oldest fable in the book. That is not true. If you believe that, then yes, that's what's going to happen. But that is not true as long as you keep your sex life active. Yes, each of us, as we grow older, we change. But that is not always going to be there. You just have to have respect, compassion, empathy for your partner and what they're going through. And believe it or not, just being there for your partner if they are sick and helping them get through that is the most turn on, the biggest turn on, when that person is feeling better or figures out what's going on and they regulate their own body. Sex is going to be ultimately amazing. So learn different ways to please your partner. And that goes for your partner to you. So yes, sex can continue and can be strong and long lasting. So don't ever think that it is not. Just remember that women think a lot better than men do when it comes to work that in to your sexual relationship. Another question we could ask is, are there any taboos left? Well, something? Talking about sex, there's always going to be a taboo. There's always going to be that individual because we're all in different age groups and time frames for which we were brought up and taught. Learning different things is kind of cute if you think about it. And nowadays, porn is such a big thing. It was never like that when I was a kid. If you watched porn, oh my God, it was such a bad taboo. You were such a little piggy, and watching all that, there's something wrong with you. Well, actually watching porn nowadays is much more acceptable and a way of actually you and your partner trying something new, trying to mimic what's on there, trying to, move your relationship or try something different in your relationship. It's come to be integrated with sex of today. So it's not as bad. Actually, it's pretty damn good these days. What's the latest on sex toys? Come on, people. Sex toys have migrated into such a big business these days and so far in advance. I mean, we kids, if you had a dildo, oh my God, one, that was like totally amazing that you had it. But two, it was like a surprise to everybody. Oh my God, you're pleasuring yourself with that. You're so gross. Nowadays, sex toys are so brought into the sex act. Used more now to sexual pleasure yourself. On top of that, now what they have with the sex toys, that your partner could be away on business while you're here or away from you, and they have interconnecting through Bluetooth and wireless sex toys that the both of you can so totally turn yourselves on and get a thrill out of it. I mean, the sex toys have grown have been improved technologically and upgraded to beyond like all different levels of use. You have sex machines now that you can just sit there and there's your thrust, you're in and out, but you still got the humping. But then again, you could always put that into the sex act with you and your partner while your partner watches, and he can be doing or she can be doing something else to you at the same time while they're nibbling on your nipples while the sex machine is going, and they just love to watch you get off because that's turning them on as well. Remember, these things are out there. Look them up. Try out different things. You don't even nowadays you don't need to worry about a threesome. You can just get a doll that is so lifelike now, and you can cater it to how you want it and what you and your pockets that partner to sit together and make up this sex toy, this doll for what you want. And there's none of that jealousy. There's none of that, oh my God, am I going to get sick? What does that other person have? Or feeling funny after, because that is actually your sex toy. We're going to take a break here. And when we come back, we'll continue with our good sex questions. Really good sex questions. So get that drink, get that snack, and come on back for more sex talk with Andra.
Still on the search of that one true love? On the limbo in this crazy world of dating, marriage, relationships? Well, listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Relationship Podcast, your one-stop podcast for everything about relationships.
Welcome back to the GSMC Sex Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network, with your host, Andra, where the topic about sex is from the point of view of an older woman. Now continuing on with our topic of really good sex questions, let's move on. How do I buy sex products online without anyone finding out? Well, nowadays, because it's become such a big thing and the internet has been so widely used, companies, there are some out there that sell, rent, or exchange your customer interest, your customer information. There is one toy store, sex toy, called Babeland. They don't. So go on there and check out some things, but do check on the policies of the companies, because a lot of companies nowadays are very discreet in what they send to you, whereas it will come as in a plain package. It doesn't say what the thing is on it, so that when you do get it, you can open it up in the privacy of your own bedroom, per se, or if you want to take it with you somewhere and open it there you go. You got to be dealing, make sure that the company that you're working with has a way in which to get in touch with them. They're legitimately a business. There's a lot of sex places online that are businesses, very well-known businesses, and they will not rent or sell your information. And that's generally in their policy and terms that you agree to, that you generally have to agree to, when you're on the site. And like I said, these companies will, send your package where there is nothing or no identifying, symbols, or anything that's on the package when it comes to you. So it does come quietly and discreetly, and you can have it sent where, when, and how you want it to come. And just make sure that the people in your household do not open up your mail, because once they do, they will actually find out what's in the box that you bought. And if it is a surprise, find another way to have it sent to you. And the like. And if you are constantly saying, oh my God, I have something coming in the mail, obviously, if I was your partner, I would want to know what it is, because you're a little more excitable than I would feel that you are for just a package coming in. Or I think it was for me. And obviously, for the most part, the sex toy is for the both of you. So that's how I would think about it. I'm assured your partner thinks the same. Moving on. What about erotic literature? Now, mind you, obviously Playboy, Penthouse, and all those nudie magazines have been out for years. Mr. Hefner has made a lot of money on his book and displaying women in beautiful, beautiful lighting and tasteful environments. Obviously, he took time to appreciate the woman's nakedness in her body and made a business out of it. Years ago, erotic literature was, you only, like, if you found it, it was amazing. It probably wasn't even in the library, but these days, there is so much. You can go in the library and get it now. But years ago, oh my God, no, you would not find it there. It is much more acceptable now. There is a female erotica literature, the Erotic series, which is by Susie Bright. And you gotta, they take it from, they have a little difficulty getting, and she states straight out that it's very difficult to get writers to submit stories, because they don't want to put that out there and, say, oh, this is how it is. They think that their lives are going to be put in on paper and sent out there. Well, yeah, technically it is. But if you're not giving your name, you're going under pseudonyms, and you're really anonymous about it. You're just showing, or sharing, shall I say, with others, another sexual, erotic pleasure that they may even like and want to integrate into their sex life with their partner, because this is why people buy the erotica. They want to read it in the imagination and the inquisitiveness of wondering how was that done? And it's so explained so exquisitely in the book. And then there are some that aren't, that just straight to the point and boom, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So it's not considered, like, watching porn was really only geared towards men back in the day, where only men watch porn, women don't watch it. Nowadays, everybody watches it, and partners watch it together. So porn is not such that taboo anymore. So is the erotic literature. It is there. Try it with your partner. Get an erotic book. I mean, I believe the 50 Shades of Grey didn't do anything for me. I tried reading it. However, a lot of people were so into that book, and it became such a big thing in that series that book of erotica, when it became, a movie, the movie just hit off. So there's ways of looking at it. People are living vicariously through the individuals or the partners in the sex act that you're reading about, and reading about it gets you to actually imagine what it would be like if you and your partner did it. So there is a lot of literature out there now. Go out, buy it, get a book club subscription. They're available, trust me. But if you have an erotic sex scene or an erotic, a story that you want to write about, reach out to these book places and do give them your story. They're not going to put your names in it. They're going to use different names. They're going to change names for purposes of confidentiality and anonymity. Anonymity. I have my days. But yeah, they are out there, and share what you do, because you may open up somebody's life, sexual life, somewhere else where they were basically at a standstill. So think about it. It is there. Reach out, share your story, read it, read the story to your partner, because reading it, your partner is going to imagine you doing that to them. So use that literature, that erotic literature, the way it should be. And going right into the next question, is there a typical erotic lit fantasy? No. Well, according to this writer, there are two. It's actually what most couples want, or most people want. One is having sex with one or more multiple partners, in a variety of configurations, different sex positions, threesome or group sex, swapping, and it's the whole idea behind the erotic lit fantasy is that you want something new. You want to try something different. Well, that's really great, because that's what sex is all about. So we're going to take another break here. And when we come back, we'll continue on with the rest of our subject of really good sex questions. So replenish that drink, replenish that snack, come back, get relaxed, and join me for some more sex talk with Andra.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome to the GSMC Sex Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC podcast network with your host Andra, with a topic about sex is the point of view of an older woman. Now let's finish out our segment on good sex questions. And welcome back to all of you. I hope you are ready just to end out on a high note. So here we go. Is it true that women are now selling sex aids the way they used to sell Tupperware? Absolutely, positively on that one. Now, there are very many sex parties. They are called passion parties. You have Athena, which is one of the top ones, which is sex toys, and with other things as well. But women will go to the homes. They're in-house private parties, and they sell toys big time. Now, passion parties are held each month. This is actually a particular company, and they sell toys and lingerie. And these things are to encourage foreplay. So now, mind you, you can go there with your partner. Sometimes your partner likes you to just go by yourself and pick something and surprise them. But, one day, one party, have your own, whatever, have them come, have it a Jack and a Jilly, and let them pick something out. You don't need to know what they bought. They could be watching this, and even after the party, you may be so sexually aroused that you just go home and hit the humping and the, thrusting and the whatever you want to call it. But you might just get deep down and dirty right after. They have edible lotions at this. They have flavored body powder. There's body pudding that's flavored. There are so many things that you can use and have your partner use. Now, mind you, this particular company was established by a woman who is now 60 years old. You go, girl, because keep bringing us those great, amazing sex toys in those parties. You can really actually just let yourself go, have a hell of a lot of fun. I have attended one or several. I'm sure everybody out there has. And they're very, very fun. They're not only a good time to get together with your friends, but in the comfort of your friend's home, somewhere you've been all the time, or at your house, and inviting new people in, and just having a good, it's a great social gathering as well. So, you can bring your partner. You don't have to. Or if you're both going over there having a party there, but your partner was going over there and another play cards, or hang out with the guys, or hang out with their friends at the same time, because, the couples each know each other. Bring them along. Most likely they're going to want to know what the heck is going on. Others will probably not, because they know that whatever you buy is going to come into the house and they're going to use it on you. So they're going to let you do what you want or what's going to get you off, and buy them something as well that would help them to get you off. Just to, something new. That's what those parties are for. They are very fun. Enjoy them. So make the most out of them. Great place to socialize, but great place to let yourself go and see that other people out there have the same idea you do. So they're out there. These parties go into the home now. So book your party now. And I know you all know about them because they're not hidden. So they're much more out there now than they are. We have a festival every summer here, and there's a table for one of the biggest companies that's there It's a vendor table, and you can go there, and they have stuff out there. So it is so cool. So think about that. Call up your neighborhood sex toy provider for in-home parties and get it going. The next thing we may ask, which is really, really good, is with so much information and so many products on the market, are there areas of sexuality that we still don't know about? Oh, absolutely. A sex toy can only bring you so far in your relationship. It can only do so much. It is at the mercy of the user. So there are a lot of things about chemistry, physiology, and neurology. This particular thing is focused on the woman, but this actually goes for the man as well. We all look as females to the man to be that, you want them to know what they're doing. But at times, you kind of sort of want to like that inexperienced person who you can teach them and train them to what you like as you're learning about them. So there are ways to look at this. There are so many things out there. And being able to get up there and learn about more ways to have sexual arousal, building your libido, getting all these things that are, these lotions and candles and all these things that are now geared toward only sex, and the market has exploded with sex toys. There is so much that you can learn about yourself. And you might find a new way that you can be aroused and stimulated, and that's what it's all about. This is how you learn more and more. When you try something new with your partner, you are learning, you are finding out something new, something that you might want to try next time. There is that's there, and that is what it is all about. And yes, it is there. You can go out to groups as well, and there are sex groups out there. That is something new, where they could probably give you a different view on sexual, positions. It might be the same position that you're using, but going at it at a different angle and finding out new ways to be aroused by such a position. So there are ways to do this. There are different things out there. There's so much stuff to learn. I don't think you can learn it all in one lifetime because they're ever changing and adding new sex things. So look at it that way and take it in stride and just, keep learning all the time. And that's what it is all about. What's the best time to raise delicate sexual issues with your partner? There is really no good time to say anything, but there is times when things just need to be said. If you contracted an STD or you have herpes or something along that line, obviously you would really want to sit down and talk with your partner before the sex ensues. Instead of after, and then your partner finds out and they feel betrayed. But when a lot of times the best time to talk about it and to do it, to show, and this is a way of showing that you care and that sex isn't the biggest thing on your mind, is in non-sexual moments. If you're sitting there watching TV and you just ask your partner a question, and they're in the kitchen cooking and you're having a dialogue with each other, and it happens to be just questions for each other, inquisitive questions, and it goes into sex. Those are the time. And this is how you learn about each other as well. This might not be something that you want to bring up in the middle of sex, because a lot of people believe, like, if you're in bed with your partner and you're asking your partner these questions only when you are having sex, well, then they will feel that they, you can't talk to them, and it's why is it, you're only there for sex. This is why you find those non-sexual moments to do that. Now, we are going to go on to my last question. I know there's so many out there, and there is, but we're going to end it here because this is the end of my show for today. And is, do men compare us to women in porn movies? Okay. I'm assured it says that they're not wishing that their partner looks like them. That may be all well and good. However, they are damn near wishing their partners did what that woman does in the movie. So it doesn't get to that. Watch them together. Ask questions. Would you like me to try that on you? We could try that next time. That looks fun. I'll do that for you. And this is a way of integrating that in. But there are men that, because they're so obsessed with porno movies, that they are imagining that's where their sex is going to be. And before even talking with their partners, will try to act out that scene, that sexual scene that they liked in the movie, and your partner has no idea what's going on and will resist. So it's always well and very good to talk to your partner first, or discuss it and try it, watch the movie together, discuss the position. Ooh, would you like to try that? Play games where you are trying different positions, and that's one of the ones that you want to try. Remember, it's both for both of you, and there are some times where, your partner just wants to please you and watch you. So it's in their mind, and that vision is there with them when they go outside the house, so that the next time they're like immediately they want more. So this is the end of my show. As always, practice safe sex. If not for your partner, for yourself. And thank you for tuning in. And until next time, keep talking sex.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Sex Podcast, part of the GSMC Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcasts on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type in GSMC to find all of our shows from the GSMC Podcast Network. From sex and relationships to health and wellness, life and happiness, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's episode of the Golden State Media Concepts Sex Podcast.